Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, not visible. Light ఏదో తీసేయం. Yeah, our common topic is Spring Boot security. Actually, it's a security applying on web application. Security that we apply on what? Web application. So, class content, guys. Spring common topics. Spring security. Yeah, that's good. Open with Paint. Yeah. Everyone, please focus. Initial first discussion, little irritating one. Concentrate, everyone. Who runs servlet component? IOC container or servlet container? Who runs the Spring Bean? IOC container. I would like to inject Spring Bean to servlet component. Possible? I would like to inject Spring Bean object to servlet class object. Possible or not possible? I want reply no. Why not possible? Servlet container, servlet component runs in what? Servlet container. Spring Bean runs in what? IOC container. Servlet component runs in servlet container. Spring Bean runs in what? When both are there in two different container, do you think injection can be done? Do you really think injection is possible, guys? Definitely injection is not possible. Agree with me, my dear. Come on. I think you are getting my point there or not there, guys. Okay. So either I have to move servlet component to IOC container for injection, or I have to move Spring Bean to servlet container. But if I move to Spring Bean to servlet container, injection is not possible. Do you think injection is possible? Do you really think injection is possible, guys? Not possible. Do you really think injection is possible, guys? Not possible. Are you getting my point there, guys? So that's why we have to think about moving servlet component only IOC container as a servlet Spring Bean. Or if I make servlet class as also as a Spring Bean and move to IOC container, injection is possible or not? But here one problem is there. Once I move servlet component to IOC container as Spring Bean, do you think it can take request from browser? A servlet component can take request from browser only when it is there in servlet container, right? See, if I move Spring Bean to servlet container, injection is not happening. If I move servlet component to IOC container, injection is happening. But servlet is missing its original capability of taking request from browser or not. It's something like this. Boy and girl in relationship, they decided to go for marriage. Girl says, I want to marry you, but I want to get approval from my parents. She is against of running away doing marriage. She want marriage should happen with the parents approval, right? Okay. But boy tries to meet parents are not agreeing. Girl says, I want to marry only you, but I don't come with you without my parent approval. Look at the boy position now. And same situation is here or not there. Same situation is here or not there. Let's try very simply. I want to marry only you. That's very clear. But I'm not going to run away with you. You have to get the parent approval. She want parent, she want boy. But parents don't want boy. Yeah. If I move spring bean to Servlet container, okay, that's good. But Servlet container is known for injection, sir? No. So ruled out. If I move Servlet component to IOC container, come on, injection is possible because Servlet component also class, na, you can make spring bean injection. But do you think Servlet component can take request from browser? Not possible. Then what we should do? Yeah. The solution that is working as on today is move Servlet component to IOC container, make it as spring bean, do injection of other spring bean. But what about taking request from browser? You keep one special filter or servlet in Servlet container who takes the request and passes to what? The servlet that is there in IOC container. Sir, who will do that work, sir? Who will do that work? There is one ready-made servlet called, or there is a ready-made servlet filter called delegating filter proxy. See the word proxy is there? That means what? It's a dummy one. Takes a request from browser on behalf of what? Original servlet filter. Come on. On behalf of what? Original servlet filter. On behalf of original servlet component. Okay. Passes that request to what? Servlet that is there in IOC container as Spring Bean. So that what happened, guys? Other Spring Bean can be injected to servlet. And it is also getting request from what? Browser, not directly through one delegating filter proxy or not there. Not directly, simply through what? Delegating filter proxy or not there. Both things are happening or not happening, boss. So that means our work is completed or not completed, my. Say something, my dear. Come on. Got the clarity or not there, boss? Okay, that's good. It is Spring extension module that provides what? Multiple ready-made filters to enable what? Security on Spring Boot MVC and Spring Boot REST application. And also on what? Microservices. Okay, that's fine. Spring, if same security module is used in Spring style, then it's called Spring Security. If security module is used in what? Spring Boot style, then it is called as what? Spring Boot Security. Are you getting my point there, guys? That's good. Okay, let us understand the problem. Servlet container is having servlet component or servlet filter component. Filters are extension of servlets. IOC container is having what? Java class has Spring Bean. Can I inject this Spring Bean to servlet filter component? Answer is no. Why? Injection is possible between two beans of same IOC container, not between two containers, right? And moreover, why servlet container will treat servlet component as Spring Bean? Injection is possible between two Spring Beans, not what? One servlet and Spring Bean. Are you getting my point? Here, Spring Bean injection to servlet filter component is not possible because servlet filter component is not taken as what? Spring Bean managed by IOC container, and servlet filter component is managed by what? Is managed by what? Servlet container. Are you getting my point there or not there? Spring security, Spring Boot security can be applied on what? Spring Boot web application, and also on what? Non-Spring and Spring Boot applications. What's the beauty, you know? Spring security is not there only to secure Spring applications. It is there to secure non-Spring web application also. Regular Servlet JSP based web application also can be applied with what? Spring security. It is interesting or not there. So that's why Spring security is a non-invasive module or invasive module. Non-invasive, not tightly coupled with Spring. It is loosely coupled with what? Spring. It is not tightly coupled with what? Spring. It is definitely loosely coupled with Spring or not there. Okay, guys. Servlet JSP web applications. Servlet JSP web application. Are you getting my point there, guys? Yeah. In order to inject dependent spring bean to servlet filter component, we need to make servlet filter component also as what? Spring bean in the IOC container. Okay, see this one? In IOC container, servlet component is moved as spring bean. Another Java class is there as spring bean here now, boss. This injection is possible or not possible? But the problem is, if servlet is there in IOC container, can it take browser request? No. That's why here I will take one ready-made servlet filter, which is ready-made, which is exclusive design for this purpose only. Which is exclusive design for this purpose only. What is that? Delegating filter proxy as a filter component, a servlet component. So now what happened? Now I am going to map that one with what? Slash URL pattern. Slash means what? Slash star means what? Any request it will take. All the requests it will take. See the URL pattern is slash now, boss. That means it will take all the requests are not there. That means it will definitely take all the requests are not there, guys. Say something, my dear. I want reply, guys. Okay. Yeah, browser is giving request. Yeah, tell me, guys. Delegating filter proxy is taking the request, number one, number two. And it is delegating the request to whom, guys? It is delegating the request to what? Servlet filter that is acting as a spring bean. Already one more spring bean is injected or not there. So here both problems got solved or not there. I'm able to inject one spring bean to servlet filter. Fine, that's good. And at the same time, come on. At the same time, okay, it is able to take requests from browser or not there. I have a question. Sir, in this IOC container, there are so many spring bean. How does this delegating filter proxy knows I have to delegate the request? I have to pass the request to this spring bean only, not other spring bean. For that one, okay, the logical name of the filter and bean ID of this filter or this spring bean must match. What is the bean ID? What is the logical name I have taken? What is the bean ID I have taken? F1. Both are matching or not matching? Though there are so many other spring bean, it won't delegate to what? Other spring bean. It will delegate to what? This spring bean whose bean ID is matching with what? Logical name of delegating filter proxy. Otherwise, how does it know, sir? I have to go to this place only. Where does it knows and how does it knows? I have to go to this place only. Everyone getting my point, my dear? Got the clarity, my dear? Come on. Convinced with me or not there? Okay, that's good. Great. Browser gives request. Delegating filter proxy takes the request. Okay, now what is the logical name? F1. Then it will search in the nearby IOC container. Is there any spring bean whose bean ID is F1? There na, boss? It will take the request. So level 1 is over. Since this servlet filter is also spring bean, it can be injected with other spring bean or not. Interesting or not? Got the clarity or not? Okay. So let's go back to our funny example, boy-girl example. So problem is what? Problem is this girl, servlet component girl. What she says, okay. What she says, I want to marry you. Spring bean is the boy. Okay. I want to marry you. But at the same time, you want to get the approval from the parents. Yes. But parents are not agreeing. This is the problem. Okay, what is the solution he found? The boy, what's the solution he found? Okay, he contacted one Purohit. Purohita, what is that? That Pandit, a marriage broker. He contacted one Purohit or Pandit, whatever it is, right? he send his profile to parents of the girl, right? Along with other profile. Okay, girl also seen all the profile. Somehow she acted as what? Like it this profile. Yes, my dear. Then what happened? Girl is doing boy marriage with the boy whom she likes, right? At the same time, parents also says, out of so many profile, she selected this profile. Okay, let's approve. Why to go against wish of the girl? Yes or no, na guys? See, what's the parent interest? Marriage should happen under their control. So they don't go completely against of what girl wish. If girl says, I don't like this boy, what I will do by marrying him, it's not going to work out, right? So here, what is the situation? Delegation filter proxy is like that Purohita or not there? Yes, my dear. Yeah, what this one? Purohit is taking request and passing to whom? Passing to girl. And girl is already in relation with what? Boy. So it's happening officially through parent approval or not there? Everywhere Java is there. Everywhere Java is there or not there, guys. That's fine. So entire credit should be given to this delegating filter proxy or not there, which is a ready-made class in Spring Security module. Sir, why are you teaching that one all of a sudden? Why? Because when we implement Spring Security, come on, we should know this internal, then only we can understand what application development process. Just keep this one in brain. What is the brain? What? If you want to inject Spring Bean to Servlet filter, it has to be made as Spring Bean in IOC container. Because of that, it cannot take request from browser. To solve this problem, we try to configure delegating filter proxy in servlet container as what? Spring Bean. Delegating filter proxy in servlet container as what? Spring Bean. Everyone getting my point there or not there? Understanding my statement here or not there? Okay. Browser gives request. What is there, guys? Browser gives request. That is in what? Delegating filter proxy. That will talk to servlet filter component. That will talk to Java class. Everyone getting my point there, guys. Super. If you take servlet filter component as Spring Bean in what? IOC container, then any other dependent Spring Bean object can be injected to that what? Servlet filter Spring Bean. But that servlet filter cannot trap and take request from what? Browser window. For this, we need to configure what? Special ready-made servlet filter component given by what? Spring Security module. That is what? Delegating filter proxy. Having URL pattern / and logical name matching with what? And logical name matching with the servlet components what? Bean ID belonging to IOC container or not there? Same, entire diagram is there. With respect to diagram, check it out. Browser gives request to web application. Delegating filter proxy traps and takes the request. That's good. Delegating filter proxy delegates or passes the request to whom, guys? Servlet filter component that is acting as what? Spring Bean in IOC container or not there? Searches for the servlet filter component whose bean ID matches with what? Delegation filter proxy logically. The logics in servlet component, filter component executes. Which one? IOC container. IOC container Spring Bean. Yeah, next. Servlet filter component uses the injected dependent Spring Bean services through what? Method calls. Servlet filter component uses what? Injected dependent Spring Bean services through what? Method call. Everyone getting my point there or not there? Super. Security in web application is nothing but enabling what? Authentication plus authorization on web application. Simply enabling authentication plus authorization on the web application. Authentication, checking the identity of a user using what? Username, password, thumb impressions, iris, digital signature. All this comes under authentication or not? All this comes under what? Authentication or not there? Say something, guys. Security in web application is nothing but enabling what? Authentication plus authorization. Okay. Checking the identity of user using username, password, thumb impressions, iris, digital signatures, and what, etc. Authorization. Checking the access permissions of the authenticated users on what? Different resources of the project. Here, the roles of user will be verified before allowing user access, before allowing the user to what? Access different resources of the project. Everyone understanding my statement, guys? Come on. And very simple. You take a Zoom application. I need to submit username, meeting ID, password. You need to submit meeting ID, password. That is called authentication. But when I joined as a panelist. Based on my meeting ID, they recognized me as a panelist. Based on your joining, they recognize you as a student. But as a panelist, I have more access permission on meeting numbers. I can share screen, I can stop, I can remove student, I can add student, I can do a number of things. But you have a limited things to do in the meeting ID or not? Okay, you take a bank application. Bank application is same for the customer and employee of the bank. Same. Even mobile application is same and website is same. Don't think that they will develop twice. Okay, no. But whenever you join, they recognize your username and password, especially username, having what role? Employee role. When your customer joins, it will be identified as what role? Customer role. When you log in as customer role, come on. When you log in as what? Customer role. Are you understanding my statement there? When you join as what? Customer. When you log in as what? Customer. Are you getting my point, guys? When you log in or when you join as what? Customer. You will get limited options to work. You can check your balance, you can transfer money, but you cannot check others' balance, all this stuff, right? You cannot open account, you cannot close account, all this stuff. But when you join as employee role, same application, you will get more options to perform or not there. So ultimately what? Checking the identity of a user comes under what? Authentication. Checking the access permissions of a user comes under what? Authorization. Identity of a user means authentication. Access permissions of a user means what? Authorization. Everyone understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Checking the identity of a user using username, password, thumb impressions, iris, digital signatures, and etc. Checking the access permissions of authenticated users on different resources of the project. Here, roles of the user will be verified before allowing the user to access what? Different resources of the project. Super. Okay, tell me. Roles are nothing but what? Designations given to users. Based on the roles of the user, the access permissions on different resources will be what? Decided or not there. The access permissions on different resources will be decided or not there. All customers, employees of the bank must be authenticated to use the bank app. The users that are having customer role is like designation, guys, will get less access permission on the resources, whereas the users having employee role will get what? More access permission on the resources. More access permissions on the resources. Convinced with me, my dear? Come on, everyone. It is always recommended to enable authorization of accessing resources not based on the username. It is recommended to perform on what roles? Array, if user is Raja, give faculty role. If user is Ramesh, give student role. If you go, if you go like this, what happens, boss? If username is Raja, give him what? Account opening. If username is Suresh, give me what? Only checking balance. Tomorrow, Raja, Suresh may be there, may not be there. They may be promoted or demoted, or they may resign. So that's why don't give access permission on username. Give always access permission on their designation, nothing but roles. So while registering each user, what we do? User ID, username, password, role also we try to register. What we try to register? Role. What's the advantage of registering role, guys? When new user comes, one or other role will be there. So I'm going to write authorization logic based on the role or username. Okay, whenever user is picked up, his role will be picked up. According to access permissions are decided or not. According to the access permissions are very much decided or not there. This is what going to work out. So that's why don't give access permission, nothing but don't enable authorization based on username. It should be always on what? Roles of the user. It should be always on the roles of the user. Convinced, my dear? Check it out. End user. Okay, end user. You submit a username password, okay, to perform authentication, right? Username password verified, if correct, you will get the success. Once success come, authorization takes place. Authorization checks the access permissions now, boss. If there, you will get access to resources. If not there, tell me what happens. If there, you will get access to resources. If not there, come on. If not there, I want reply from you people, guys. Come on. Yeah, if not there, tell me what happens, guys. Authorization failed, you will get 403 error. If authentication fails, 401 error. Check it out. We give request. Because of authentication, it will ask username, password. You have given wrong username or wrong password. Error is coming. Okay, that's the end of the story. Again given, again ask username, password, correct username, password given. Then it has to access resources, but on the resources, authorization is enabled. It will check whether this user having this role is allowed to access this resource or not. If allowed, fine, gets access to resource. If not allowed, okay, you will get 403 error. That means if authentication fails, you will get 401 error. If authorization fails, you will get what? 403 error. Okay. Already in Tomcat server, manager application, this authentication and authorization is implemented, guys. Let's see whether it is happening properly or not. Go to Tomcat 11.x, guys. Tell me, boss, bin directory. Here is what? Tomcat 11.exe file. Run as what? Administrator. Run as administrator. That's good. This is what we need to concentrate. Local host. What's the port number of this Tomcat? This is running on which port number, guys? Okay, no, what's the port number? 7799. 7799. Is that clear, guys? Come on. 7799. Here, what is there? Manager app. What app? Here is manager app. Admin. I am giving wrong password wantedly. See, guys. See, actually, you got 401 error back, but when you get 401 error, browser again shows the dialog box. Until you give correct username password, it will show the dialog box. When authentication failed, browser gets 401 error, but for that 401 error, it won't give error message. It will give the dialog box asking the username password until you give the correct username and password. Okay. So now I am giving correct user password. Click on what? Sign in button. Sign in button. Okay. This fellow is having what? Permission to use this web page. That's why we are getting what? That's why we are getting, okay, this access to this page. This page is nothing but resource. If not there, I would have got what? 403 error. What error, guys? 403 error. Okay. You want to feel that 403 error? Wait a minute. Go to conf folder. Go to what? Go to conf folder. Go to tomcat-user.xml file. Tomcat-user.xml file. Tomcat-user.xml file. Check it out. Admin. Yeah, where is that? These are commented one. Where are the enabled ones? I think somewhere the enabled one is there. Yeah, check it out. Username admin. This is fine. Okay, I will kill some row resources. Username admin. Come on, guys. Admin1. Password is admin1. Here, I will not give these UIs. Manager GUI, admin GUI, I don't give. Manager GUI, I am removing. Admin GUI, I am removing. Wantedly, I am removing. I'm keeping less roles, guys. I'm keeping less role. Okay. But these changes will be recognized only after what? These changes will be recognized only after what? This bin directory. Tell me. Tomcat 11.exe file run as what? Administrator. Run as administrator. Okay, that's good. Close this, guys. Open fresh browser. I'm trying to show authorization practically, nothing else. What is there? 6677. What is there? 77. 7799. Yes. Home page has come. Manager. Admin1. What is there? Admin1. Authentication success, guys. Authorization fails. See, 403 access denied is coming or? Because I killed the manager GUI screen. The screen, whatever screen you have seen earlier, the screen is authorized only for manager GUI role people. But I have removed that role for admin1. That's why you are getting 403 error or not. See, manager GUI allows access to HTML GUI page and status pages. Manager script status page allows what? Status page allows access to status page. Like this, some rhythm is there here or not there. Some mechanism is there here or not there. I want reply, my dear. Come on. Got the clarity or not there? Understanding my statement or not there? Okay, that's great. Okay. So I think you got the idea about if authentication fails, you will get 401 error, but you won't see 401 on the browser. It will keep on displaying what? Dialog box asking username password again and again, right? If authorization fails, you will get what? 403 error. What error, guys? 403 error, but that you can see on the browser. Just now I have practically shown that one or not. Okay, now question is, Sir, for doing authentication, you should have access to the registered username, passwords, and roles information, na boss. Yeah, the place where user registered username passwords are saved are technically called as what? Security realm. What is there? The place where registered username passwords are saved is called as what? Security realm. Realm means small database, guys. Realm can be a file. Realm can be XML file. Realm can be a properties file. Realm can be what? Database. Realm can be some third party LDAP server. LDAP server is also there to store username password. Realm means database, small storage unit. See, Realm means small database software or repository where username, password, and roles are stored and what? Managed. Most of the time we use database as the security realm. Check it out. Security realm will have username, password, roles, and status enabled or disabled. Generally, right? So that is required towards authentication. That is even required towards authorization. When authentication is done, it will take the given username, password, and try to compare with what? Username, password that are already stored in security realm. Once matched, guys, it will pick up the role. And that role will be used towards authorization or not there. See, to get into bank application, I typed my username, password. Okay, that given username, password will be verified with what? Bank database already registered username, password or not? If matched, authentication is done. But during that matching process, it also pick up the role of the user. Suppose customer is there. Okay, towards authorization, only those resources will be coming, okay, that are allowed as what? Customer. Towards authorization, only those resources are allowed that are allowed as what? Customer. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Everyone getting my point there or not there, guys? That are allowed as what? Customer. That are allowed as what? Customer. That means during authentication only role of the customer is fetched out and that is used for what? Authorization. Convinced or not, my dear? Come on, everyone. Super. The components of security implementation. Authentication provider or authentication info provider. Everyone getting my point, guys? Authentication on what? Authorization manage. Authentication provider or authentication info provider. Other side what? Authentication and what? Authorization manager. Okay, check it out. Authentication or authentication info provider is also called as what? Security realm. It's a small database software or repository where username, passwords, and roles will be shared, having what? Status. Having a status of enabled or disabled. So these are the possible security realms, guys. Properties file, XML file, JSON file, database software, LDAP server, in-memory DB. For testing purpose, instead of taking separate DB, you can take in-memory. Out of all these things, what is the best you know? LDAP. LDAP server. What is LDAP? Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. What's the specialty of it, sir? Lightweight directory access protocol. But in what way it is special, sir? It is special. In what way it is special, you know? I will tell. Lightweight directory access protocol. Okay. LDAP. What means what? LDAP. Lightweight directory access protocol. It is special. Once you forget the password, in remaining all places, we can collect the password. We can collect. But in this one, once you forget the password, no question of getting old password, except resetting the password. Anyone having old Yahoo Mail or Rediff mail ID? If you have that, right? Okay, na? If you have that, there is a chance of recovering the password. When you forget the password, they will ask 4 or 5 questions. Okay, if you answer them properly, they will send your old password to your another email ID. But look at the recent Gmail kind of thing. Once you forget the password, you forget the password only. No question of getting it back. You have to reset the password by answering the question. That means password is very much protected here or not there. See, hackers and jackers cannot get the old password. Okay, they cannot set the new password also because they fail to submit the OTPs or they fail to submit the answers for the question. Because we take typical questions, typical answer which you only know or your close members only know, right? Sometimes you only know. Or nowadays OTP is also coming, right? OPT is what? Personalized mobile number. So that's why here no question of recovering password, only resetting password is possible. Convinced or not, my dear? Come on. Got the clarity or not there, guys? In all other security realm except LDAP server, the password recovery is possible, whereas LDAP server password recovery is not possible. Only password reset is possible. In LDAP server, recovery is not possible. Only reset is possible. In all other authentication provider, we can get the passwords of the users if they forget the password. When in LDAP server, no provision to get password, only resetting of password is possible. Here, password recovery is not possible, only resetting is possible. Understanding my statement, guys? Security realm means it is the small storage place where the username, passwords, and roles will be stored and what? Managed. Roles will be stored and what? Managed. Are you getting my point there, guys? Right, tell me. Authentication and what? Authorization manager. It's a component that verifies the given username password to perform what? Authentication and gives what? 401 error if authentication fails. Are you getting my point there or not there? It's a component that verifies given username password to perform authentication and gives what? 401 error if authentication fails. If same component collects the same component collects the roles of authenticated user and perform authorization access for accessing different resources and gives 403 error if authorization fails or not there. So that means what? Authentication provider is there to just manage username, password, and roles. The actual component to actually perform authentication and authorization is what? Authentication and authorization manager. So without these two components, can we think about security implementation, guys? Can we think about security implementation, guys? I want reply from you people, boss. Come on. So in any security implementation, two components are important. One is authentication provider, where username passwords are actually stored, guys. Other one is what? Authentication and authorization manager. The software component actually performs what? Authentication and authorization activities. That actually performs what? Authentication and what? Authorization activities. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Yeah, tell me. Authentication and authorization manager can be arranged in how many ways? Two ways. Number one, using programmatic approach. Bad approach or good approach? It's a bad approach or good approach, guys. Here we need to develop the logics of authentication and authorization manager explicitly by spending what? Huge amount of time and brain manually. Huge amount of time and brain manually. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Programmatic, you have to put the efforts. We should write code for authentication. We should write code for authorization. Nothing is there. You should write SQL queries performing authentication. How? Select count star from table where username is equal to given username, password is equal to given password. That count star gives zero, na authentication failed. If that count star gives what? One, authentication succeed. Similarly, you have to write queries for what? Authorization also. What is there? Select role from table where username is equal to given username. You will get the list of roles, right? You will get the list of role. There because of before accessing any URL, we'll check. If role is this, allow this. If role is this, allow this. If there, it will be allowed. If not there, you will get what? 403 error. But me writing that logic by sitting alone is going to be very, very complex or not there. Is going to be very, very tough or not there. Say something, guys. It is definitely going to be what? Very, very complex. Definitely going to be what? Very, very tough situation or not there. Okay. Max web server or application server provide built-in security support by providing, this is declarative approach. That means we don't do that. One either framework or what? Application server, web server will have ready-made authentication and authorization manager. Your Tomcat server is having, other servers also having ready-made ones. You need not to develop it. Maybe by using annotations or by adding entries in a web.xml file, we have to activate it. Declarative means what? Already there, you should know how to utilize it. You should know how to configure it. You just need to know how to utilize it. You just need to know how to configure it. Are you getting my point there, guys? There is no need of you doing it, guys. You just need to know how to utilize it. That is called declarative. Programmatic means me putting the hands and developing everything. That's always complex to do, right? Declarative means what? Already there, we should know how to take it and what? Use it. Okay. Yes, using programmatic approach, using declarative approach. Here we need to develop the logics of what? Authentication and authorization manager explicitly by spending what? Use amount of time and brain manually. Max web server application server provide what? Built-in security support by providing what? Built-in authentication and authorization manager. By adding entries to web.xml file, we can activate that authentication and authorization manager. Refer security in web application, Servlet JSP environment. Okay. This is declarative approach, guys. Okay. If not that, you can go for what? If not that, you can use Spring Security kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, programmatic approach is bad because a lot of manual code is there. We are learning framework. We want everything ready-made and activation only. We don't want to do everything from scratch level, right? That's why our vote is what? Declarative. But in declarative also, I don't want to use a server managed declarative approach. Server managed readily available authentication and authorization manager. Why, sir? Why you don't prefer server managed one? Why you don't like what? Server managed one. Simple reason, guys. In one server that may be available, in another server that may not be available. If I move my code from one server to another server, there is no guarantee security will work or not there. And moreover, sometimes some security features are not available in one server, but that is free or cheap. But only for security purchasing commercial server is meaningless or not there. Yes, my dear. See, in between programmatic declarative good. But implementation of declarative through web server managed security or application server managed security is not great. In Servlet JSP, we don't have other alternate. That's why we have worked with what? Servlet JSP, web server managed security. What is that? Web server or what? Application server managed security. Are you getting my point there or not? Max web server or application server provide built-in security support by providing what? Built-in authentication and authorization manager. By adding entries to web.xml file, we can activate that authentication and authorization manager. Refer security in web application what? Servlet JSP. That's good. Limitations of declaration approach. What approach? For securing web application, working with what? Servlet container supplied, authentication and authorization manager through what? Web.xml file. Through what, guys? Web.xml file. Are you getting my point? Limitations of securing web application. Not declaration approach, declarative approach. What approach, guys? Declarative. Yeah, tell me, guys. Only selected servers support this feature. Sometime we need to purchase license of costly web server or what? Application server to use only this feature. To use only this feature. Convinced, my dear? As of now, this facility only few servers support. In some server not there. In that our web application is running. So only for the sake of security, purchasing another costly server is meaningless, na my dear. That looks a bit irritating or not there. Okay. As of now, this facility is possible by adding additional entries in web.xml. That means not suitable in 100% code-driven configuration and Spring Boot applications or not. If you want to use web server managed security, you have to add entries in web.xml. But I am decided to develop the project without entertaining XML. At that time, do you think it is possible, guys? In Spring Boot, entertain XML, guys? But only for the sake of security, again, entertaining XML is meaningless or not there. So that's why it is against of latest trending that is happening or not there. What's the latest trend say? Say no to XML. Say yes to annotation. So we have to think about developing code as what? 100% code driven configuration based code or not there. Okay. When we move from one server to another server, these configuration in web.xml may change. Web.xml entries related to security are not portable across the multiple servers. Not portable across the multiple servers. Are you getting my point, my dear? Server to server, again, we have to write the entries or not there. Some of the tags are server specific tags, guys. In Tomcat, those tags are different. In WebLogic, those tags are different, right? In Tomcat, those tags are different. In WebLogic, those tags are different. Is it really going to work out, my dear? Definitely not going to work out. Convinced with me, guys. Come on. Understanding my statement here or not there? Okay, that's good. No support for LDAP server as what? Authentication info provider. And etc. Tell me now. Tell me this. What is there? To overcome these problems, we use Spring Security or what? Spring Boot Security. To overcome these problems, we take the support of what? Spring Security or Spring. One thing is clear. Web server managed security is also declarative approach, but there are some problems. So we don't want to use web server managed security. We want to use Spring Security, which is part of the application, no dependency with the server. Part of the project, not dependency with what? Server. So when it is part of the project, when I move project one server to another server, one mission to another mission, along with the project only security movement now, boss. Is there any dependence with the server? I may use any free server where security support is not there. I may use costly server where security support is there. I can move my project to any mission. I need not to do security configuration separately. That is the reason Spring Security is doing well in the market. Convinced, guys? Everyone. It is also declarative approach, but not server specific one. It is what? Spring specific one. Spring specific one, what? Project specific one. I hope you understood, guys. Note. server managed security. And what is there? Server managed security. And what is there? Spring security. Both fall under what, guys? Server managed security and what? Spring security. Both fall under declarative security management. Declarative security management. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Both fall under declarative security management. Both fall under declarative security management. Okay. But server managed security needs server level, what is there? Security configurations. And server level security configuration. And tell me, guys. Server level security configuration. Server managed security needs server level security configuration. And what is there, guys? Come on. Spring security needs okay, project level configuration. Project level or what? Application level config. So Spring security is very much portable. What is there? Across the, what is there? Multiple database. Very much portable across the multiple database software. I hope you understood this statement, guys. So, yes. So these are the limitations of what? Server managed security. What is this? Server managed. Okay, no support for LDAP server. LDAP is the best authentication info provider or not? Why it is best? It will maintain username password with a lot of secrecy. That's the number one advantage. Number two advantage is what? Number two advantage is what, guys? Come on. Number two advantage is no question of recovering password. Only option is what? Resetting the password. That's why it's good. But somehow this is Tomcat managed security, WebLogic managed security do not give support to work with what? LDAP. LDAP is a software, separate software. Advantages of Spring security are what? Spring Boot security. Let's see. Whatever problems I said, all the problems are solved here. Can be used in Spring MVC, Spring REST, microservice application. Also in what? Non-Spring based web applications like what? Servlet, JSP. Come on. Am I audible, guys? Am I audible? Online students? Am I audible? Am I loud and clear, guys? That's good. Can be used in Spring MVC, Spring REST, Spring microservice application, and also in what? Non-Spring based applications like what? Servlet JSP web application, JSF web applications, and what? Etc. Okay. The security configuration code are portable across the multiple servers. Portable across the multiple servers. We can use this security irrespective of what? Whether the underlying server supports the servlet container level declared to security service or not. Spring security is nowhere related to what? Servlet container security. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Supports different authentication info providers, including what? LDAP. We need not to arrange costly server only for what? Security. Whatever problems I said, all problems are solid or not. Can be used in Spring application, non-Spring application. Even Servlet JSP, JSF application also. Okay. Security configurations are project level. Project level means what? Nowhere related to server. They are portable. All the servers are not there. And we can use this security irrespective of what? Whether underlying server is having security support or not. Whether server level security is there or not there, you can add this security. Why? Because our Spring is bringing that security. And supports what? Different authentication info provider. Most importantly, what, guys? LDAP. Next one. We need not to arrange costly servers only for what? Security. Is there any need of arranging costly server only for security, guys? Okay. In Spring or Spring Boot environment, we can apply security on application or REST application or microservice application in 3 approaches. What is the first approach, guys? Using Spring Security or what? Spring Boot Security. This is the one way. For basic authentication and authorization, we use this. For basic authentication, guys, you can implement. Okay, it can be implemented in 2 ways. One is by using browser-generated dialog box asking username, password. In Tomcat server, we have seen a dialog box. But that is no look, no great GUI. That's why we can design our own form also. Yeah, second one is form-based authentication. Form-based means we can design our colorful page asking username, password. Interesting or not there? Number one is, just now we have seen, browser gives automatically dialog box asking username, password. But that is very bad for appearance of the website. Or if Gmail people asking username, password through dialog box, it looks very odd or not there. No, they have given their own form page asking username, password. Yeah, basic means dialog box will be there. Form means our form page. Ready-made form page, our form page. But form page will be there. A proper good-looking form will be there, right? Yeah. Okay, this form can use in-memory database, can use property file as authentication provider, can use database software as authentication provider, can use what? LDAP server as authentication provider. Understanding my statement, guys? Great, guys. Understanding my statement here or not there? In-memory DB, properties file, database software, LDAP server. Everyone convinced with me or not there? Using JWT, JSON Web Tokens, losing its popularity or not? It's going to lose its popularity or not there? JWT is, but some companies are using some, but we are going to learn JWT also, don't worry. Using OAuth 2.x, this is very important. Nowadays, every website is not asking to register separately. Though they are giving that provision, they are asking to log in as a Facebook user, log in as a Gmail user, log in as some other user. Remembered? Yeah, if you want to enjoy that facility, you have to go for OAuth 2.x. Okay, for example, you open this, guys. Redbus.com. Redbus.com. It's a website now, my dear. Okay, that's good. Click on login. Sign in, sign up. See? Sign in to Google. Sign it to what? Google. This needs OAuth. If this is implemented, means they have internally used OAuth, open authorization. But there is something called sign up. Eh, No, they are not providing. They are happy with only one option. Okay, fine, no problem. This Redbus is okay. Spotify.com. I think everyone is now connecting to this Spotify nowadays. Okay. Login, guys. Yeah, this username email. This is needs Spring Boot security. And all this needs what? OAuth 2.x. Why? Why this second one is important? Why that is popular? Arey, as a human being, how many websites, how many username passwords you remember? Impossible, na? And everywhere you cannot use same password also. And same username also, no guarantee you will get it. Come on. And if you everywhere same password is given, one time your password is cracked means everywhere cracked. Yes or no, na boss? And daily we use nearly, in a year, we use nearly 300 to 400 applications, our website. 300 username passwords, are you able to remember? But every day we work with the Gmail, Facebook kind of applications, na? So we always remember those username passwords, na, my dear? Okay, that's why better to use that identity as this website identity, boss. Come on. For implementing that, what is there? OAuth 2.x. See, JWT is also regular username password verification only, but approach is different. But when it comes to OAuth 2.x, this is the approach. Everyone getting my point, guys? Continue with the Google. Yeah. What happened? Okay, fine. Leave it. Let me try this. ChatGPT. Yeah. ChatGPT also having that browser, huh? Yeah, maybe. Might be there. Continue with what? Facebook. Continue the Facebook. Continue as Natras. See, automatically, my Facebook ID has become Spotify ID. Check it out. Here my logo has come. My profile image. Can I not? I think account. Huh? Okay. I think fine. Believe me, it is me only. Okay. Right. Okay. That's fine. So now in the entire Spotify, I am identified with this what? Facebook ID or not there? To implement this OAuth 2.x is required or not required? Yeah, we are going to learn all the three things, guys. Okay, na? Okay. Now what is there? Spring Boot security. We are going to discuss about Spring Boot security. Right. Once we add Spring Boot to starter security, Spring Boot starter security to Spring MVC or Spring or microservice project, one ready-made filter called delegating filter proxy will be registered with a slash URL pattern having fixed logical name Spring Security Filter Chain. Having fixed logical name, what is there? Spring Security Filter Chain. Are you understanding my statement, guys? For this, one class will be generated extending from what? Abstract Security Web Application Initializer. Abstract Security Web Application Initializer. Are you getting my point there, guys? Spring Security Filter Chain. For this, one class will be generated extending from what? Abstract Security Web Application Initializer. That is going to be internal class or not there? That is going to be internal class or not there, guys? Okay. See, that is why understood why I talked about delegating filter proxy at the beginning of the class. At least now you got the clarity, boss. Once we add the starter, this will come automatically, will be registered with the slash URL pattern, right? Okay. we need to develop one configuration adapter class as configuration class. Extending from what? Web security configurer adapter. Overriding two configuration methods. One is for authentication provider information. One is for authorization. Yeah, based on the configurations we do in these two configure methods, lot of servlet filters will be generated in IOC container as Spring Bean. For all the servlet filter browser generated requests should be taken, they will be taken directly or they will be taken through this delegation filter proxy. Every detail we add in authentication and authorization, separate in-memory filters will be generated as what? Spring Bean. And they will be linked with what? Delegating filter proxy. That means delegating filter proxy traps a request and links these requests dynamically. Dynamically generated filter, then passes to controller classes through what? Dispatcher servlet. Passes through controller classes through what? Dispatcher servlet. Everyone understanding my statement, guys? Okay. See, guys. Configuration enable security. Security, this is one you have to do. How many configure method? Two configure. Configure method 1, configure method 2. Right? Okay. In Spring Boot 3.x, we can take the security configuration class directly as normal configuration class without extending from other classes. Everything is same, but no need of extending from what? Other class. In first configure method, we write information regarding authentication info provider or not. In second configure method, we write information about what? We write information about what? Authentication provider or not there. Say something, guys. Got the clarity or not there? Yeah, have a nice browser gives request to browser gives, this is our controller class on which security is enabled. Let us assume security controller class. Controller class means one Spring Bean kind of thing where business logics are there to generate the web pages. For the timing, don't think much. One Spring Bean having business method to generate the web pages. Okay. Who traps and takes the request? Delegating filter procs. Now listen. Based on configurations we do in both configure methods, lot of servlet filters will be generated, linked with what? Authentication info provider and authentication managers. Authentication info provider and authentication manager. So what happens, guys? It traps the request, passes to different filters. These filters are linked with what? Authentication info provider and authentication manager. First perform authentication. If succeeded, then it will perform authorization. Succeeded. Okay, if both are succeeded through dispatcher servlet, request goes to the actual controller class which is actually requested or not there. The request goes to actual controller class which is actually requested or not there. Say something, my dear. Come on, everyone. Got the clarity or not there, guys? Browser gives request to controller 1. Controller 1 delegation filter proxy traps and takes a request or not? Super. Okay. Lot of servlet filters are generated based on the starters and logic we write in two configure method. So those filters will talk to authentication info provider, authentication manager, completes authentication and authorization works na. Suppose authentication failed, those filters only will generate 401 error, again showing dialog box asking username password. Or authorization failed, they will generate 1403 error. Come on. If all succeeded, it will go to requested controller class or not. What is dispatch servlet? I'll introduce that one later. Don't worry today. Okay. So that means entire magic is there in those two configure method. What we write, suppose in first configure method, I said, I want to use a database as authentication info provider. It will start using it. Second configure method, I said, okay, for this URL, allow only this role users. Authentication manager will check whether that user is having that role or not there. If there, it will allow request going to destination. Otherwise, 403 error. So entire magic is there in both configure methods, boss. Everything is there in what? Two configure methods. Clear, my dear? Spring Security generated in-memory filter based on our requirements configured in what? Configure method. And one of these filters even contains what? Spring Security supplied what? Authentication manage. Yeah. Authorization levels in Spring Security or Spring Boot Security. Permit all. What do you mean by permit all? Array, home page is there. First page of the website or Gmail home page. Do you apply any authorization on it? Authentication required, but authorization is permit everyone. Okay. See, permit all means no authentication, no authorization. Generally on home page of the website, nothing but first page of the website, we try to take what? Permit all or not there. We'll try to take up what? Permit all or not there, guys. Everyone getting my point there, guys. Come on. Yeah. Home page, about us page, contact us page. While dealing with these pages, do I need any authentication and authorization, guys? Next, what is there? Authenticate. Only authentication, no authorization. Inbox page is there. See, once you give correct username, password, it should be allowed. Right? No authorization, guys. Anyone who gives correct username, password, they should get their inbox page, right? Only authentication on given request URL resource. No authorization required. Main menu page, inbox page. What is there? Send our components mail page. Next one. Has a role. Authentication plus what? Authorization. Has a role. Authentication plus authorization. Role checking will be there. What will be there? Checking the balance page, transfer money, withdraw deposit money page, changing password, deleting mails, and etc. Array, definitely role should be checked or not there. You take a bank home page, permit all. Come on. Okay. Show balance page, authentication is required. Come on. Okay. Transfer money along with authentication, authorization is required. Okay. Deleting loan. Even customer role people are not allowed. Only manager role people are allowed. Clerk role people are not allowed. So that time we should have a role of manager or not there. Has a role. Given role should be there. As any role. I'm going to pass 2-3 role. If any one role is there, enough to go for further. For example, check balance page is there. Check it out, for example. Either clerk role or manager role or what? Customer role. Anyone can see the balance now, boss. But transfer money. Transfer money means only manager and customer, not the clerk. Clerk can okay, manager can transfer. Or customer can transfer, not the clerk. If clerk wants to transfer, approval from manager is required. Yes, my dear. So these are the authorization level. Permit all, home page, about us page, contact us page. Authenticate. What is authentication? Only authentication on given request URL is required. Has a role. Authentication plus authorization. Has any role. What is there? Has any role. Okay. In the list of given roles, one role should be there. That's good. Fine. These are what? Various authorization levels. Check it out. Controller class URL path. Home/home. Permit all I am taking. Home means home page. Contact us, permit all. About us, permit all. Inbox, just authentication is enough. Check balance has a role, user or manager. Transfer money has a role, user. I don't want allow manager also to doing that. Deposit money has any role, user, manager, visitor. Anyone can deposit. No? To deposit, no one kept any restriction, right? So like this, all these are what? Roles. Roles are like designation. Okay, whenever we register user, along with username, password, we also store what? Role and status. Status means enabled or disabled, active or inactive. This kind of information we try to store or not there. Say something, guys. Come on, everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Now listen, online students, you have to focus one thing. Tomorrow, no session, but next Saturday, Sunday, you will be having 3 sessions to complete this Spring Security. Total how many sessions? 3 sessions to complete this Spring Security. Saturday 9:15 as usually. Saturday 7 p.m. Okay. If needed, Sunday 7:15 a.m. If needed, Sunday 7:15 a.m. So total 3 sessions we are going to have. But this tomorrow we don't have class. Tomorrow I can take the class, but problem is 7 p.m. students still not aware of what is web application development. Without that, I cannot go further. Without that, we cannot go further, right? Yeah. I'll give video of Kubernetes, guys. That's pending somehow, not happening. I'll give the video of it. Right? Okay. What is the plan, guys? Tomorrow, no session. Okay. Next Saturday, Sunday, prepare for 3 sessions. Saturday 3 sessions are, Sunday I will take 3rd session, I don't know. But next Saturday, Sunday, you prepare for long sessions. Is that clear, guys? Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay, that's great. Fine. Google Drive. Today evening, regular class is there, not common topic. Not common topic, regular class is there. For them, class is there, but not the common topic. MVC. Is not security class, it's a common topic. I think what's your batch code? 5th June only, na? Yeah. Let me give Spring Boot Secure. File upload. Where is this? 719. Spring. Where is this? Common topics. Session 1. I did not get you. Yeah, I have saved now already. Spring Boot Security, guys. So I think we have to upload to another batch also. 11 o'clock students. SBMS 11 a.m. Your folder. Spring Boot Security. Right click, file upload, session. Okay. That's good, guys. Right. For common topic students, we'll meet on next Saturday, Sunday. And regular students, you have a regular timings. Nothing changed in regular plan. All right. Thank you. Have a nice day.